That's so brilliant! This video is sponsored by Case Filters. Honestly, it took me quite long to get into woodland photography. Much longer than for vistas or waterfalls. Today I know how to shoot a woodland scene, but I don't want to stay still. I want to get to the next level. My friends, a very good morning. This day is such an important day of landscape photography for me today, because you know, when you start with photography, you are in a kind of growing phase where you get better and better, and then suddenly you come in a kind of establishment phase where you try to use all the things you've learned to get great photographs. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that, we all do it like that. The important thing is just, sometimes I think that we forget that it's also important trying to enter the next growing phase so that we get better photographers. And when I've watched my videos already for the past, I would say 6 or 7 months or so, you know, I try to come away from a common type of landscape photography. I mean, there's nothing, I like my photographs, it's not that I would hate them or I don't like my photographs or so. It is just I want to improve by breaking out, by trying something new, by going, let's say, I always try to avoid sky in my woodland scenes because it draws the viewer's eyes, but I took already some photographs this year with sky and they get really fantastic, I really like them. Same with the light situation, usually I try to get separation between the trees with atmospheric conditions, fog, maybe a little bit humidity or so, but I also got already great photograph just with quite dry weather and clear sky even. And today I intentionally went out with a humidity of I think 45%. So usually I never went out below 65 to 70% at least, maybe more is better. But yeah, it's all about forgetting about my principles and trying to get really creative, and that's what I'm trying to do today. And I would say, let's see what's possible here. Oh, this woodland is so enchanting. It's so fantastic out here. And when I came along here, I got attracted, and it's so cute. It is absolutely amazing. I got attracted by this baby tree here, by this little tree here on this tree trunk. We have all the autumn leaves here. We have this orange, brown, yellowish foliage up there. We have this curve here in this tree, which I also really like. And I thought, Christian, how can you bring that all in a composition? Because usually everything is too close together, there's too much of chaos, we don't have atmospheric conditions and so on, the wrong light, we have clear sky even. Usually I would not try to take a photograph here, but I got this fisheye lens here some time ago and I thought it's maybe a good opportunity to try it out here for a composition. I really found one. Now I came quite close to my baby tree. I make it actually the star of the show. I photographed upwards the tree actually, and I really love that. And I would say, let's make the click. I want to be honest with you, I fear this image doesn't really work. You know, in woodland scenes we often have to make compromises, so I focus primarily on getting these leaves here in front of the tree. But I'm unhappy with this part here, as I didn't get the elements nicely isolated with the backdrop. And same up here with these curved trees back there. Yeah, 11mm is definitely a bit short for woodland scenes, but however, let's do it better with the next image. It's quite funny. I found one more composition with the same principle actually. I still have my fisheye lens on. The only difference is before I used the tripod, also not my usual tripod. Usually I have this tripod here for photography, and this little tripod here is for my video. So the only thing is that the video tripod is smaller, so I used the video tripod before. This is why I changed them. But here I have to go totally down to the ground, and I can't use a tripod. So I went up quite high with my ISO, I think 1000 or something like that. And so I also can't focus deck or so. I'm here at f16. That's the maximum of this lens, and I have to say it's a little bit softer. We have a little bit of a diffraction, but it's not all too bad for a photograph like that. It works because I want to get a high key shot, so with all the foliage starting to glow. It's also really an advantage when you photograph upwards a tree because everything starts to glow. The sun is behind there. I have this leaf here. I hope you can see this leaf, and also this curve here of these leaves leading into the frame, going upwards. And important is also that you look what the branches do up there, especially when you're using a fisheye lens, because everything works a bit different here. I really like the shot, I have to say, and I took it already, and I will show it to you right now. I have to say it's really fun to shoot with a fisheye lens. I didn't do that for quite a long while, but I really like that. Now what I did is I came quite close, really close, closer than the minimal focus distance to these leaves here. We have some, I think these are eggs of butterflies or so, when you look here. And we have these leaves, one going from the left hand side, one going from the right hand side, and it goes to the distance and so on. And what I really like is the sun burns out everything in the distance. Usually this is something I would totally avoid, but I like it here. And we have the tree at the left hand side. At the right hand side we have also some trees a little bit making a curve here due to the fisheye. And there's always a little bit of wind going, so that's really difficult. Now it's really still. I'm, by the way, at f4, so quite open. I didn't go for f2.8. It's an f2.8 lens, but the problem is, the depth of field is too short then. I want to get it a little bit bigger. It's anyway, because I'm that close, it's really not that big. So the most of this image is unsharp, it's blurry. And I hear the wind already, I would say. Let's make the click. Days like these are really so important in landscape photography. And of course we risk not to get a great photograph, but exactly days like these grow us as photographers. And additionally, there is the chance to get a completely different photograph outside of our usual prison of our principles. This image here, got even a portfolio shot, I have to say, and I really like it, and this is why I printed it, and I will also offer it in my web shop as a fine art print. I'm really happy with this one. Maybe also some words to the new fisheye lens I've got. I'm not sponsored, they just sent it over to me for trying it out. It's an 11mm TT Artisan fisheye lens. I will link it down in the description for you. I mean, it's a cheap lens. I think it's offered for just a little bit above $200 or so, and this is why I honestly didn't have although high expectations for this one. You know, I'm used to using Sony G Master lenses, which cost, I think, 10 times more. So, well, let's talk about the quality of this lens. Now, fisheye lenses in general don't tend to be as sharp as normal lenses. This has to do with the architecture, the build architecture of the lens. But I have to say I'm quite impressed with this one. For a fisheye lens, it's quite sharp. It's just I spotted some chromatic aberrations, especially at the edges, but honestly that was what I had expected for the price. The build quality is 50-50, I would say. Yeah, it's out of metal, no plastic, which is good, so when I have it in my hands it feels really valuable. For landscape photography, there are actually just two downsides I found. On the one hand, it's not weather sealed, but again, what do I want to expect from a lens at that low price level? And another thing is, when I went quite close to a wet leaf or so, it sometimes happened that it touched the glass. Now on premium lenses, I'm used to moving a cloth quite close to the glass, and due to its sealing, the water goes away immediately. But the glass of this fisheye lens doesn't seem to be sealed, to be honest. So yeah, it's smeared when I rubbed on it with a microfiber cloth. Again, it's a cheap lens. I think for this price, I can live with that. It's just a mineral lens, by the way, so there is no autofocus, which is not the biggest problem at all for me in landscape photography. It's just the camera also doesn't get any data from the lens. So I had to remember which aperture I used to be able to write it beside my image for you in this video. But all in all, I think, as I don't use fisheye lenses all too often, yeah, it's just the image quality actually that is really relevant for me, and that works for me here, I have to say. I can really recommend it for landscape photographers. I would just not use it, in strong rain maybe. By the way, the fisheye effect of this fisheye lens is quite subtle, so the distortion doesn't distract all too much. It can even add to the composition. Important is just to use it in the right way. I mean, fisheye lenses simply don't work like normal lenses. There are some differences in the aerial architecture, and this is what we have to consider when we frame up a composition with a fisheye lens. And I made already a video about that. I will link it here for you. And friends, I hope you liked this video. If yes, give me a thumb up. Leave me some comments if you also use fisheye lenses in landscape photography. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.